I've been waiting to do this video for a very long time. Welcome to the channel, friends. It's Angela, the Traveling Crafter, and I am here with a fun tutorial. Well, I hope it's going to be a tutorial. This is something I did quite a while ago with an intent to use some of these Julie Nutting paper doll stamps, and I think I have some dies too. Well, I haven't really used these yet, but I have some other things, and so we're going to dig into it and go ahead and get started. Now, I am using my new system, so this was a project. I put it in. I've been carrying it back and forth from the lake, and finally thought I need to just get this done. So let me show you what I have for supplies. You're going to need glue. You're going to need scissors. You're probably going to need a trimmer. All the normal suspects. I do have these that at some point I think we'll maybe make some of these fun little guys and then cut them out. But maybe not today. But I don't know. We might, depending on how time allows. I'm kind of on a deadline. So I've got a lot. And I think they're pretty stinking cute. And then I guess I do have a couple dies. I also had these dies that I showcased on, it was something I bought. Oh, here's one more set of, oh, I just got these the other day. So that was what was the motivation for me to do this project. And then I got carried away. I've got some little clothes hanger paper clips and some vintage clothes hangers for doll clothes. I've got some bling and ribbons. I've got some shoe stickers. I've got some, I'm not really sure why I put these all in here. What do you call this? Embroidery floss, some string. I've got some little baby flowers. I don't know if we'll use these. And I must have had these in my travel bag. So that's all of that. And then the other thing that I had was from Crafter's Companion, and I did take the time to die cut a bunch of stuff. You know how I feel about die cutting. I did not enjoy it. But they worked pretty well. So in the meantime, I just did a haul for a 1951 catalog, and I have these, which I think we'll use either these or the other ones I'm going to show you. And I have all of these little, we'll either use those three or, I thought I had, oh yeah, these are three, these three. So those three. But I do have a couple of these little die cuts, the little girl, of the people. I have all of these little dresses that I made. I have some of the dolls, but these were so intricate. Like, then you have to put their hair on. And, oh my gosh. And shoes and all kinds of things. So we have this. We're probably not going to use these today. But we are going to use these, and I think it will work. So let me show you what we are going to make, and then I'll show you how I created this wardrobe. I just think it's really fun. Now, I did not have a template. I made this up, so if it's not perfect, I apologize in advance, but it just took, actually was very, very easy to do. I just had somewhere on here. Here we go. Here was my initial thought. Do you like that? Then this was my initial template idea. And then, so I cut that out and did a little mock-up. And then I did make this as the template. So I'm going to lay this here so you guys can get all of it in there. Let me see. Let's go a little bit higher. There we go. So if you want to take a photo or a screenshot of this, you can. So essentially what we're going to do is use a 12 by 12 piece of paper. We're going to cut a couple pieces out, and then the rest is easy peasy. Anyone can do this. So that's going to be what we will be using. But here's what I created. And this is just out of one 12 by 12 piece of paper. So this, as the template mentioned, opens up, and inside I put the little, these are the, now these don't come out. I could have made, the next one we do with these little cutie patooties, we'll do something different with them. But these are just static. The little girl does come out of the pocket, and there's room to put things in. As Dave said, oh, do the drawers open? I said, well, that's very funny. However, you could make this 3-dimensional and make a little box, and it could be a real wardrobe. Then I just took like the little hats. This is a purse, another purse, and hat and a purse. Had some stickers, and I just stuck that on there. I used the ribbons and the baking twine to make the clothes hanger, and just use the scraps to make all of the other pieces that go in here. So it's pretty easy. What do you think? Are you up for it? Let's do it. Let's do it to it. Now, we have 2 pieces of paper. Maybe what we'll do is we'll cut both of them out to use for both of these. Because I mean, I won't do both of them on camera, but I'll at least do one from start to finish. So this is one of them that I picked to go with these pastels. So, now the easiest way to do this is just to take my template for me, right? Is to just do it like this. But if you're doing this from scratch, and you're going to want to make sure that your bottom, the bottom where the pocket's going to be is at the bottom, because this is what you're going to make your beveled edge. And I'll show you how to do this so you can do it however you want. So for me, the easiest way to do this would be just to trace around it or cut around it, and I would be ready to roll. But because I did this as a template, I want to show you where you're going to fold. So you're going to fold in at 3 inches, or you can score this. So maybe I'll grab my scoreboard out. So you're going to have your 12 by 12 piece of paper. You're going to score at 3 inches and at 3 inches here. And then you're going to score so that you have a 2 3/4 inch pocket. So let me grab my, just to be all official, we'll do it the right way. But once you get this done the first time, then you can just, if you want them all the same, then you can just use your template and cut it out. So I would suggest using a piece of cardstock that you don't really love, and then you just go from there, and you have your template you can always use. So you can do this one of 2 ways. You can score this at 3 inches. So let's just get this out. And basically you're going to have 6 inches here. So, you would just go 9 here. So you're going to score at 3 and 9. Oops. How about I stand up? Or, come on, there we go. So it's scored at 3. And 9 at the moment. How come that didn't seem to be? Must have not used enough strength. Okay, so it's just going to fold into each other. You just need a little tiny bit in between there so it doesn't overlap. Basically what you're getting at, okay? So you've got it like that. Now, if it's easier for you, you can score at 3 inches, and then you can just flip your page and then score at 3 inches. So some people want to do it that way. This is non-directional, so you don't need to worry about it. So we've scored at 3 inches. We have 6 inches in between here, and we've then again scored at 9 inches. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our paper and turn it to the opposite side, and we want this to be 2 3/4. So we're just going to score right here. Is that right? Well, I'm going to tell you in a minute. Okay, so now it's scored there. So essentially, you're just going to fold this up. So it's going to go here, and you're going to go here. All right? Now, what we're going to have to do is make sure that, let me just show you. Again, we want this to be cut. We want all of this to be cut out. So let's just measure where this is at so I can tell you. So it will be easier for you. So I cut it 2 3/4. And let's just say, make sure that's straight. We're going to cut at 5 5/8. Just to make it easier for you guys if you're using a scoreboard. I'll show you guys the, I hate it when it does that. Do you guys have that happen where you're just going right down and about halfway through it goes off course? Ugh. Okay, so that will be easier. This is your pocket, and then we've got it scored there, so we know that we need to cut all of this out. Let me just mark it so you can see it. Right here and right here, we'll be cutting it out, okay? So let me show you on this big one. What did I say? 5 5/8. We'll just put score at 5 5/8. All right. So once again, I'm sorry I'm being repetitive, but this is going to help you to make your initial template. Score at 3 inches. Score at 9 inches. Turn it. 1 turn. So the opposite side there. 2 3/4 inches. And 5 5/8. And that's it. And you're good to go. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. So now what we need to do, let's just do the other one just so they're both done and we can put our scoreboard away. All right, so this one I need to decide what I want on the inside. And I think because this is pastel, well, wait a minute. We're using this one. So I think that inside will be better with those little girls. So now what we're going to do, we're going to score at 3 inches. We're going to score at 9 inches. We're going to take this corner and we're going to turn it. We're going to score it 2 3/4. It's going to give us our pocket. There we go. And we're going to score out 5 5/8. So basically when this folds up, ooh, that's a little bit, I'm gonna back up on that. I don't know. Let's score it at 5 3/8. That seems, it's just a little bit farther down there. I don't want it to be, okay, so I take that back. Sorry about that. It was a long time ago when I did this, and I did not score. I just folded pieces of paper together. Let's fix this one too. 5 3/8. Let's just see when I fold that up. Well, this one's bigger. Okay, we're going to leave that one alone. But I'm going to change this on my template, so, because that would make sense if you were folding it up. 5 3/8. Okay. All right, so now we're going to move this aside. We don't need this anymore. Oops, I just... And we're going to cut these out, but now I need to look at... I know this is hard for you guys to see because of the, whoa, of the pattern. So let me just look so I can... I'm just going to also mark it so you guys can see it. Let's see. I just threw that in there. It is right about here. And this is the one that, for some reason, the sizes were different. I want to make sure that that's going to be fine. Yes, it is. Okay, so we're going to... I'm going to really get that. Maybe if I do it on this side, it'll be easy. Yes, it is. It's much easier. So we're just going to go up here. And I'm going to go to the right side of this just in case. I need to. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I put those X's on there. I might want to use this. Oops. That's okay. We won't do it on the other one. So now we're going to do this one. Were y'all yelling at me going, Ange, don't do that. You need that paper. So save all of your pieces. And that was the other thing when I did this. I did not score it because then they weren't bent. But no big deal. We'll make it work. All right. Now let's look at our sample. So these are going to be your doors, right? And this is going to be your pocket. So it looks something like this. See what I'm saying? This one did not come out even. I'm going to move this one. I don't know why it's not. I probably folded it wrong. Who knows? It's okay. Perfection is not what we're going for here. There we go. Fixed it. All right. Now, on here, I did not... This, I just eyeballed. So here's how I did this. Let's get the other one cut out, and then I'll show you how I did the top. All right, so that one's ready to roll. Now we need to do this. Don't write on it, Ange. All right. So we have, I got to look here. Yes. So we're going to fold it in our 3-inch mark. Just gonna make sure it's really nice and, oop, hang on. That looks like it's, what the heck did I do? I gotta get to that. It just wasn't bent quite right. See, I'm just not a scoreboard type person. It's really much easier for me just to go, okay, I want them to go about right there. Like that. And fold them down. Okay. And now we're going to cut this piece out. And we're going to save it because we're going to use it later. I'm going to make sure I have it. Yes. The right spot. It's very hard to see. And you guys, anybody can do this because it just takes a little bit of engineering, if you will. And so I just thought, okay, this is how I want it. And I did see some, one of my inspirations was on Pinterest, and it was for like a 3-dimensional, like a wardrobe closet, you know, for doll clothes. So that was kind of what made me decide, this would be a great idea. Okay, so here's where our drawers are going to be. This is where the top's going to be. We just want to make sure it's going to open okay, which it will once this is down. So see, that's just a little bit. Let's just take a sliver off of here. There we go. Now it's good to go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to round the corners of the top, just like this, on both of those pieces. We'll make this one first, okay? So the corners are now rounded. So what I did is I cut about, let me just tell you how much. I just eyeballed it and I cut about, I don't know. Here, let me measure it first. I cut 1 inch from the top. So I cut out 1 inch right here. So you could You could measure that, or you could score it. I'm not going to, because clearly I do better without a scoreboard. So at 1 inch, I'm just going to take my pencil and I'm just going to mark it lightly. Right there. I'm going to cut that out right here, and I'm going to do the same thing right here. And I'm going to make sure, I know that I might be off camera on this one. And I'm not, like I said, perfection is not key here. It's just to get it where you want it. I feel like, yeah, that should be good. All right, so the next process is that you're just going to cut out that little piece. Now, this next technique I've shown you how to do in a previous tutorial, and it's so easy. I think it was one I did when I was at the lake. I don't recall. Oh, yes, it was when we did envelopes. So if you go to my envelopes playlist, there's a whole tutorial on how you can make these. Don't throw these away. We're going to keep them, okay? Now I have a little bit of... Let's just make sure that this kind of matches up. This one needs to be trimmed just a little smidgy more. It's not quite even. A little bit more. There we go. I'm calling it good. I'm not going to do it again. There we go. All right, now that's set to go. All right, let's do the same thing to the other one. So we're at the same stage here, same stage of the game. So we're going to... Did I round the corners before I... Angela. I did. I need to round the corners. Oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Whew. I told you, it's been like a month or so, and it's the middle of July. Probably more than a month since I've done this. All right, now we're going to mark this at 1 inch. Move all these goodies out of the way. Okay. 1 inch. I hope you guys try this. It's just so much fun. So I have tons of vintage paper dolls. I have lots of vintage catalogs and dress patterns. So this is a perfect way for us just to play with doll clothes as adults. I mean, who doesn't want it? Did you guys play with paper dolls when you were younger? I did. See, I told you guys. I just rounded those corners and I needed to do it later. Let's all forgive Angela for not being on her A game today. I've got a big day ahead of me and it's already halfway gone. I am packing to go to the lake because I'm working on, I got to finish the painting, and then we're hopefully going to work on the flooring. And my brother-in-law is going to be there. Both brother-in-laws, I think, are coming up. And one to work on doing some more rock, and then one to help me with the inside of the house. Look at how perfect that one is. Okay, that's good. Whew. And this is what I want to round. So, I don't know. Forgive me. If you've all signed off by now, you know, I made this thing up, so it is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, so we've got both of these in the same spot, except I need to round these corners. So it looks more like an armoire. Armoire. I like to say that word. All right, we're good to go. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to gently fold this in half like this, okay? So you don't push this down, don't make a crease, just hold it, and hold it so that these two stay together, all right? And you're truly just eyeballing this. Let's see. So I just kind of came up around. I'm going to go down, and then I'm going to, on this one, I think I'm going to go up. If I don't like it, I'll change it. Oh yeah, I like that. So that, now I just made my edge, and they should be matching. Okay, there we go. Deal. Now you've got your template, and you can just go for it. And that's even Steven. How easy was that? Now let's do the other one. And on this one, we're going to come around. I just want to show you so that we can make this one in another way. Because if that's not comfortable for you and you don't want to just freehand it, if you have like an envelope that has a scallop on it, use that as your template. So simply what you can do is just use something else that has an edge and make that and cut it right out. Or you can, again, fold it. And then here, we're just going to go around. This one I'm coming up, and then I'm coming back down. Now I'll probably have to erase some. Wow, I only have to erase right there. That's amazing. Okay, so now that is all ready to roll. So I have two of them that sort of look like wardrobes, don't they? Love, I see a little piece that needs to come off that edge right there. I'm going to get that off. All right. We're going to work with this one because I really like this prettiness. Okay. So let's start with the outside. And because I used this inside, we're going to find a different paper. Maybe we'll use, I don't know. And I have those we could, that's too much. Let's see what I've got that might be a solid. All right, so in this pastel one, we're going to use these three inside. So let me just put this here for a minute. And let me see if I have something, a color that would be handy. Oh, here. I got some project. How big are these? Those might be too small. I do have these. Let's see. These are two-sided. I'm not loving any of those colors. Okay. Let's look at my scrapadilly-doos. Where did I put my scraps? Do you guys remember? In my organization videos? Oh, they're right here. Cardstock. Let's see if I have something. I don't think I have a lot of colored cardstock that's just hanging around. I'm moving. Oh, maybe. This looks like there's some pink that might work, although... Ooh, look at this. I didn't even plan this, but if it works, I don't know what this is. But we're going to use these as the, instead of doing this, which I'll show you, all I did was took a piece of paper, and then I used, oops, my water's sitting on it. I used this, and I just made an edge across it and then cut it. That's all I did. So anything round and circular. But these are kind of naturally awesome. Let me see if I can cut this out without ruining it. Yeah, my eyesight today is... Can I do it? I think that will work. And then there's another... Are they the same size, though? Ooh, that's a little bit big. Okay, here's what we're going to do. This one just looks like it's just not cut out very well. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to line this up at the bottom, and we're going to cut around it. I'm not sure what this is from, to be very honest with you. Okay, let's just cut this off. So we don't have all that. We'll keep that because we might need it. Now again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Oops, that one's not quite round. Oh, here we go. I should have inked one of them first, so it would have been easier for me to see. Okay, but I think that will work. All right. Now we're going to keep these up for our color palette. I don't know that I really love these with this, but I think if we do some, kind of a reddish ink. Let me just grab a red out of this drawer. Easier. Oh, yes, the scarlet. I'll just use this one. And we're just going to give this a little edge so it's, I mean, it's probably going to be a lot darker than that, but I don't think you'll be able to tell too much. Just to bling it up. Now, in the other one, I used another piece on top of it. What I don't think I'm going to do that on this, so I'm going to make sure that this edge is pretty defined. I mean, because I think that, I don't know, maybe those, if I have some that match, we can make them work. These are just so much fun. So did I finish my story about what else I have to do? I don't know that I did. So I have been out of the staging, well, I mean, yes, I've staged other people's homes before. With Restoration Harmony. And whoops, I got a little heavy-handed there. But most of the time I just did our houses that we flipped. And if you go to restorationharmonyhomes.com, you can see some of the houses. I wasn't really good about doing YouTube or videos back in the day, but there's a few on there. Just don't judge my lack of expertise on them on the video. But anyway, we have a friend who's a developer, and he has a couple of homes, one that's been on the market for quite some time, and it hasn't sold. So he asked Dave if we would stage it, we being pretty much me. And I shouldn't say that. I'm not giving Dave enough credit because he actually is very good at staging. But I need to go. I have a budget. And then anyway, so there was that house. And then he has another house that's going to come on the market soon and wanted us to stage that one as well. So Demi and I are going to, and my mom are going to stage it. And we wanted to get some, so I have a budget set, but we also had some things that we wanted to get for the new house, which included a sofa. So I'm going to try to double down and see if I can find a sofa for that space that will work in our house. But I think I have to start staging it and now I think, I'm not next week, but the week after, so shortly. At least one of them. I'm not sure which one. And I have only seen one of them, so I need to go over and see that second house. And take some measurements too, so. I mean, I've seen it online. Okay, there we go. So that's looking pretty good. Now, obviously these are not going to stay closed. Ooh. I may need to move this over just a smidgy. Do I? Let me look. Yes. Just a little bit. There we go. So what we're going to do is we are going to make this so it will close. And I used magnets. So what I'm going to do is grab those magnets. I forgot to tell you that that's something that you will need. What did I do with, oh, I put the magnets on top of the jar. All right, so here's how I do this. Put one here. And I'm going to put one here so that I know that they're even. But I'm putting them on the back. That happens every time. They're a little bit persnickety. Got to keep them away from all other metal pieces. I use a drop of Fabri-Tac on there. See what I'm saying? I didn't want that to happen. Shoot. Okay. Stand by. Let me do this, so at least I have a base. We're going to make this the knobs. These are just, I think these are from Dollar Tree, maybe? So that's going to be our knob there. They're just like little iridescent colored pieces. All right, so those are on there. Now I'm going to take a little stinker. Let's see if I can get it. Of course I can. It's metal. All right, let's start over. Now they're all four stuck together. My Lord. We'll stick them to that. All right, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to stick this to here. And I'm going to do another one. With a little bit of glue. And stick it to here. All right. Now, these are both down. So, when I go to do this, so it was an afterthought when I, no, maybe I must have decided to do the magnets after I finished everything. But on this one, I can just use where the shelf is. I can cover the magnet here. And here, I'll just use the little flower like I did here. So that's what we're going to do, just so you know where we're going with it. Okay, then all you need to do is, I feel like I need to wait for that to dry a little bit before I do this on the back, because otherwise they'll just come right off. Yeah. All right, let's do something else while we're waiting. Why don't we go ahead and cut a piece of this? We're just going to use the pink. And I just kind of left it flowing a little bit. I'll make this one a little bit shorter. And all you're going to do is make sure that it goes all the way across. And I'm just using a dab of glue just to hold it down. Like I said, you can get really crazy and creative. This is just my first iteration of it, and I'm just kind of showing you what I did. I could have fun with these all day long. And once you create a bunch of them, I think it would be fun to just mass make. I kind of like this, but Do I? Do I like that? I don't see why not. I think it looks better than that light pink. These are the only bows that I have handy. And I am going to put a little bit more glue on them, just so it really holds that down. And then I can kind of pull that taut, put a little more glue on it. And there we go. Okay. That's all there is to it. Now, of course, we need to wait for that to dry a minute. But we can go ahead and we can make some shelves for this. So we could use this. I think we can make 3 shelves out of this stripe right here. Or they could all be different. Let's just cut a little piece. And you can just kind of eyeball it. Like, I'll tell you how big these are, just so you know. These are only, I think, 1/4 of an inch. How about we use the right side? Yep. Let's say 1/4 or half. I'm having it. I think it's 1/4. We'll soon find out. All right, so we're just going to cut this. This is crooked here. So let's cut right there. I'm thinking these stripes, but I don't know. And we're going to cut it at, does that look like 1/4 of an inch? Yes. And I think I should be able to get 2 out of that. And then we can use the other piece to get the other one out. I'm just going to cut this right in half. Oh, wait. Let's see where this bends. Okay, we're just going to cut that off and cut it right in the middle. Okay, so we'll have a shelf here, a shelf here, and we need one more. Cute. Let's see if I do that one. Let's go with, trying to decide which side I want it to be. I think I want it the green, so it kind of they all look the same. So I'm going to cut that. Right there. And I'm going to turn it. Oh, mamma mia. Shoot. Darn it. It's okay. I can fix it. I can fix it. Darn it. Let's see. We're okay. It just slipped. And we're going to make sure it's the same size. Save that. And now we have our 3 pockets. All right, and when I did these, I just made them as little, I just glued down the bottom and just left a little bit of the top open. So we'll use I am making a mess. Let's put that up there. I am really making a mess. My gosh, you'd think this is the first time I've ever played in my craft room. All right, let's use this again. And then I think we'll put our magnets on the back. And then once we do that, we can make some pockets for up here while that dries. How does that sound? Then we can make all the pretty stuff. All right, we're going to start with this middle one. So I'm just going to take this this one's going to go over this a little bit more. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right there. I probably should use some Fabri-Tac on it. I'm just doing a tiny little bead of glue on there. A little bit more on this side because that's got the magnet on it. I'm making sure that that's not going to impede on the bendy part, and it's good. All right, then I can just simply line the other ones up. And that way we have a place to tuck little hats and bits and bobs. I'm curious. I want to really hear your ideas. Like, what would you use in this? How else could you play with it? What other items do you have in your stash that you could use to make something fun like this? I mean, you could use real baby, like Barbie clothes. The possibilities are endless. Did you guys play with Barbies when you were growing? I did not. I played with baby dolls a lot. Probably way longer than I probably should have, but... And you know, the funny thing is that so did Demi. She was not a big Barbie girl, but she played with baby dolls a lot. Okay, now all you're going to do is you're going to flip this over. We're going to grab one of these. I'm going to actually let it find its home first, and then I'm just going to tap a little piece of glue under there. And now it's holding this side together, as you can see. So now we're going to do the same for this one. So they're not obviously exactly even, but that's not going to matter. I'll show you what we're going to do. On the back here, we're going to take a piece of our scrap. I just kind of don't want to use that one because I need to make sure it's big enough. What do I have? I'm sure I have a piece here. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to take this and cut it as close to that. That's going to go in the garbage. All right. And then I'm just going to create a strip that's going to cover right here. Don't worry about how long it is. And we're going to take, just for the fun of it, let me grab one of these little, apparently, so I was going to send one of these to my Secret Santa, and then I'm like, I can't do that. It has my name on the back of it. So that didn't happen. All right, let me sign this first. Where's my, I feel like I need a blue. Where are we going to put this? There we go. Nobody can read my name, I'm sure. The Traveling Crafter. There we go. We're going to pop this on there with some Fabri-Tac. Now you could just stick a piece on the back. The point is you want to make sure it gets stuck down, because if you decide to use this part as a pocket, then you don't want it to slide on. Oops, that's upside down. You don't want it to get caught on whatever you're putting to hide. And you really, honestly, you don't have to do anything on the back here where these magnets are. Maybe if you're just going to, you can put a piece of tape. That's usually what I do with my magnets. I just thought if I wanted to give this as a folio and stuff it full of all kinds of little doll clothes and have it be its own little special gift, not go in a journal, that I wanted it to look pretty on the back. So that's why I did it that way. Makes sense? Makes sense. See, and those aren't even, but that doesn't matter. That happens a lot, by the way. All right, then we just let that be. And in the meantime, we're going to make some pockets. Okay, decisions. This little thing comes off of here all the time. I'm surprised I haven't lost it yet. All right, remember, these are the 3 that we're going to use inside. So that, I mean, for the outside, it doesn't really matter. But, and I'm going to do 2 pockets. Now, normally, I would have made 1 out of each of this. But I could use, I have enough of this. And we could make scalloped, bing, bada boom. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make 2 drawers, and they're going to have that scallop. It's all right. In fact, it turned out even better, and I don't have to do anything. The scallop's already there. So that is going to be about 1.5 inches. That's, I'm just measuring what I did here. And I think if we do 1.5 inches deep on each of these, we should be good. 1.5 inches. Now, do I need to come down probably a little bit? Probably so those, just the tops of the scallops touch. Because we got to consider that as being part of it. So there's 1.5 inches from the top of the scallop. And 1.5 inches from the top of that scallop. Oh, please let this work. Now, I'm probably going to have to cut down a little bit on either side. Don't throw any of your scraps away. All right. So now, well, maybe I won't. Oh, maybe I'm going to have to cut these down farther because I want it to have a little bit, just to see a little bit. Yeah, I am. I thought I was going to have to. Okay, let's just do. Let's just do 1.5 from the top edge. That should, well, I might still need to cut the other one down. I don't know. Are you irritated with me yet? I'm going to do this way because that one side is a little crooked. Just play with it until you get it where you want it. Okay. No. I mean, it's okay, but I want it to have a little bit more room, so, because I want stuff to go, like, I think I left these all as pockets too. Let's make sure I did. I don't know. Yeah, see, I did. So, we're just going 1 inch. Go big or go home. Throw caution to the wind. And we're going from the edge, not the scallop. There we go. There's one. That way we have plenty of room and then little pockets. This doesn't work, friends. Just keep on slicing until you get where you want it. See, that thing came off again. All right. Perfect. Perfect. Now this one is not exactly straight. Make it straight. Hang on. These are not my favorite scissors of all time. I don't know where those went. Okay. Now, I'm going to want to do some more inking. What did I do with my ink thing? Probably put it back. Come here, little inker. Did I put it back? I don't think so. I have an empty spot in there. Oh, well, I have another one that's red. It's not a big deal. We're going to ink this with the same ink that we had before. Okay, let's move some things out that I don't need. I mean, why am I... Scattered. Just scattered. So I think I am going to record some of my shopping for the staging stuff. I know not all of you love the fashion thrifting or the organizing or the travel, but, you know, I am the traveling crafter, so I kind of, you know, need to do a little variety. But that's okay. There's 1,000+ videos that you can go watch that are crafting that you might not have seen, and there's some really good ones out there. I mean, you know, all of us started somewhere, right? So I have a lot of videos that didn't have, you know, they had less than 100 views on them. So go check those out. You don't want to miss out. And I don't really have very many. I don't have very many, if at all, duplicates. Like, I had some requests to do some, you know, videos where I did like oversized book pages, but most of them are all, and I'm not saying original that I originally came up with the ideas, but, you know, there's not a ton of duplicates of whatever we're doing. I hope that makes sense. All right, we're going to put these pockets on. We're going to start with the bottom one. And again, I'm going to use my art glitter glue because I need a finer line. And I'm going to do a really fine line right there so we can still tuck things in it. And then I'm just going to eyeball its placement. That looks pretty good. Now, with the door handle, I kind of feel like I don't want like this, where I made like a handle. I think what we'll do is maybe use the flowers right in the middle like a knob. Did I? Yeah, I did. And I don't know that all three of these dresses are going to, well, yes, they are. We're going to say that they're going to fit perfectly. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to line that up. Making sure I still have space that we can put things, and that is done. All right. Let's put some kind of bling on it. I guess I could do 2 more of those. You guys can tell me. And then I'm going to pull these out because maybe we'll use those. What happened to my little bling-a-ding-a-ding-dongs? Oh, I also have these. I didn't use these on this. Okay. Help me decide. These are these little resin flowers, but they're thicker. But do I care? I'm doing this for all, I'm doing it for all of you, friends. And if I'm giving it as a special gift, it doesn't have to go in a journal, right? Or should I match this up? I kind of do think I should do that. Here's what it looks like. Oh, I don't know. I'm interested to see what you're going to say. Okay, here's what might make our decision. Let me put that on there. Let's look at these. Because these, although they're not the same shape. Oh my gosh, that looks cute. Do I have 2 pinks? Oh my gosh, I do. That looks awesome. Now, I only have 1 gold, 1 white, 1 silver, and 2 orange. So apparently we won't be using those. Oh, we're definitely going to use those. Yes, oh yes, we are. Cute. with this rubber band back around them. So I'm thinking, I don't know. Now, you know, I could have used the, hold on, let me get these out. I could have used these. It's probably too late for me to rip those off. Nah, that's too much. I'm going with them. I'm going with the roses. Why not? You guys can all give me your votes. First, we're going to glue these down. Now, again, I'm not going for perfection here. I just want them to be closely aligned. So I'm going to kind of go with making sure that this curve is about in the middle of, and I'm not pressing it down too hard yet, just in case I need to quickly adjust it. Now I'm going to have to lift this up so I can look at it from this way so I can see that it's fairly even. So I'm just going to lift it up like that. Oh, that looks pretty good. There, I'm committed. All right, now we're going to use, oh, first of all, I should probably, let's go ahead and glue this pocket down. Just so it's not flapping all over. Because I don't want those resin pieces will take a minute to dry. All right, so that will dry pretty quickly. And then we're going to use our Fabri-Tac and put on our flower poles. We're kind of going. Do I want them right there in the middle? Yes. We're making some progress. Hopefully me putting that there and I won't be bumping it, but likely I will. All right. How does that look? You'll be able to tell better than I will. Okay. So now we should be able to open up our, yes, wardrobe. And we're going to attempt to hang these pretty little dresses on some hangers. So I think for this size of folio, I think that these are too big. Well, maybe not the skipper one. Let's see. This one looks kind of tiny. I'll save these for one that I do that's bigger. But we do have, I ordered these on Amazon. These, I just Googled coat hanger. They're probably my favorite things. Coat hanger paper clips. And that's what came up. Okay, we'll use that green. Now, what I did in this one, like I said, is I glued the hanger and then glued the dress onto it. Just so it, I mean, it's not something that you could move around. But on these little girls' dresses, I did back them because they were from a vintage catalog. And I think that it might be better. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're sure going to try it. If we perhaps I'm thinking instead of glue, maybe we Velcro, put a little Velcro dot on the hanger, or do we just glue them down? I don't know. Thoughts? I mean, whatever I do is going to be done, but for future reference, what do you think? I was just trying to, and I really haven't given much more thought to what else could I do. So that, I mean, so that people, if they get this, they can play with these or they can use them, right? So let's just put our hangers on. And I know I saw that I was very OCD in my hanger placement when I did it on the other one. They're all going the same way. But this time, I'm going to be a rebel. Yeah, because see, these are chunkier. So I think if we maybe okay, let's put this last one on. Oh, look at me going rogue. I'm going totally rogue. The only thing we need to really think about is that we don't want, when we fold this in, we got to make sure wherever we place these little dresses, I mean, these look a little bit too small for these dresses, but that's okay. They're going to stay in there like that. I think we can do it. It might be goofy, but that's okay. We're just playing. We're just trying it out. All right, so I'm thinking we don't want the hanger. We want the hanger to be able to be removable, because if we're giving it a gift, we want them to be able to use the hanger, right? And we want them to be able to use the dress. Now, they'll probably have to take off that Velcro from the dress, but that's okay. So my thought is this. We'll just put a Velcro dot behind, like right in the middle, behind the hangers. Okay? So like this. Because I want to make sure that that dress is going to cling to it. Let's just try it with one and see. Let me just open this up. I got to make sure that these are the same. Yeah, they are. Okay. So then, will this work? Is it sticking? Oh, well, it probably would stick if I make sure it's not in the... Is it sticking? It is. Okay. I'm just going to hold the hanger down, and then I'm going to press this into place because I can see it right there. Then, if somebody wants to take it off, voila, they can. Okay, so now... I kind of wanted this one underneath here. So let's go up a little higher. And we'll just do the same thing. I think what I'm going to do on this... Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to do it just like I did the other one. Why try to tempt fate? I'm going up a little bit higher on this one. Then we're going to put the hanger on there. Oh, shoot. Which one did I do? Can't see. Okay. You know, there's a fuzzy side and a not fuzzy side. And I just put these at the very, very top. So you could take them off and somebody could journal on them, right? I do want it to be over the hanger a little bit, just so it kind of catches on there. Once it's all, here, let's just stick it down. Once it is all together and it's going to be closed, yeah, see, that's staying. There we go. How come that one doesn't seem like it's sticking to it? Come on now. Oh, that's getting caught on the... Because they're the same... I knew I didn't have that right. Which one was this one? The fuzzy? Must have been. Yeah, I had two fuzzy sides together. That's why it wasn't staying. Thought I was losing my ever-loving mind. Okay. Now let's just put it down there. Yeah, see it fit now. There we go. I like that. Good call, friends. Okay. Let's get the right ones together this time. All right, we're going to do the same thing here. We just got to make sure our little dress is not going to run over on that. And then I can use this one that I used before, right? It's hard for me to tell which one's which. I think this is the fuzzy one. Sorry, I'm off camera a little bit. Oops. Finger got stuck on that. I ripped the paper a little bit. Oopsie daisy. And I think we want this one over the top. Is she gonna fit on there? Sure is. Oh my goodness. That's adorable. Now, I don't really know if I have much that will go in these little pockets at the moment. I'm thinking I need to get like a real paper doll or a real, one of the real little girl. I put all of these catalog pages in my concoction so that because they were kind of smelly. But let's just see what we've got. I mean, I know it doesn't need to be realistic, but I mean, I got some shoes, but these shoes are, I guess if you wanted to give somebody just a little bit of, well, just for the sake of this, we're going to stick some things in there. I mean, these are not realistic size-wise, but look at those. These are all like high heels, I think. But you get the gist. Okay, well, I don't like that in there, but let's see what's in this little bag of die cuts that we might be able to use. And remember, we got these we can put things in. I didn't last time. But let's look here. And this menagerie. All right, no girlies. I'm looking for, oh, here's a hat. I don't like that. We're not going to use that. That's kind of a boring hat, though. Oh, here, this one's better. There's a little hat. Do I have any more purses? I'm surprised that I didn't cut out a bajillion purses. Look at all these ladies that I cut out. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, then I got to find their hair. And that just, not my jam. There's a little purse. I guess I could do wigs on there. Oh, here's a little beret. Here's a little yellow hat. That would work. I don't like that beret. You can't even see it in there. But you guys get the idea. You know, use your little pieces. There were some little shoes. You know, you could take, there you go. You could also take, like, an image. Like, say you took a picture out of the catalog. Look at, just in case you wanted to know, it's a Jana confetti. I find one every day. You could take an image and then shrink it, the image size down, and then you would have, you know, little shoes or little hats that would match, you know, say something like this in a better size. So does that make sense? All right. So then you could put things in here. So let's just close up our little closet. Let me see. Did I miss anything? Did we cover everything? Yeah. And there's room to add all kinds more things. All kinds of things. So we'll just close them up. Oh my goodness. And there you have it. And just so you guys know, where I scored this, it's a bend. This one does not have that. So in my humble opinion, I would say do not score it all the way across. And that, my friends, is how to make a fun wardrobe for your images, for your paper dolls, for your die cuts, whatever that might be. I mean, easy peasy. I know that took a little bit longer, but I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, friends, remember to take time to just be. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.